anxiety flares up. Shit, piss, poop, Gigi, you look stunning! The fuck? Sorry, so does my Tourette's, but at least my OCD is under control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, this show's name really speaks volume in this scene because these TikTok kids trying to rewrite the definition of different mental illnesses is most definitely an inside job. Hey Girl Scout, what's shakin'? How have you been? I've personally been itching to do another batch of fake disorder Reddit cringe for you guys. So I thought I would go and find a bunch and just do what we do. No chit chat, strictly business today. So let's just jump right into it.
What? No, I know I picked it out last night, but I'm just not in the same mood I was in last night. Like, actually today I don't even like this, so if I wore it I would just end up changing midday, so nah, I'm just putting it back.
I didn't realize every single person to ever own more than one outfit had DID. What's next? If I suddenly don't want to wear my hair in a bun and braid it instead, I have ADHD?
This is ADHD. This is the H in ADHD.
If I prefer Nike over Adidas,
And that's a fact.
I have crippling depression? Or if I decide I don't want to wear a dress that one time, I must have severe gender dysphoria and should question if I truly am female, despite the fact that clothing choice being associated with gender identity completely contradicts the notion that gender stereotyping is wrong and that stereotypical male and female things do not define what makes a human being a certain gender? Oops, that last one might be a bit too real. But honestly, I'm so tired of people mentioning really mundane and completely normal things, acting like it's a sign of being mentally ill. Newsflash, it's okay to be normal and not traumatized. It's okay to grow up happy and have the privilege of being safe and loved. It doesn't make you less of a person if you're grateful for what you have, and it doesn't make you better than other people to throw away your privileges and live like those who weren't so lucky. This is why people who are mentally ill are so insulted by fakers. We would have given anything to have not struggled through it, even if it's shaped our character and we're proud of who we are from surviving it. Yeah, starting heavy today with you guys, but it definitely needed to be said. Let's move on.
Pay for it, right? Like, every dime, penny, whatever, you're gonna pay for it, right? Because we can't afford it. You want us to get a diagnosis? That's fine. We'll do it. But you gotta pay for it. If you want us to get a diagnosis, you gotta pay for it. Oh yeah, and we're legally not able to because for some reason you cannot get diagnosed with the disorder until the body is 18 for some stupid reason. But you want us to get a diagnosis when we can turn 18. Pay for it then. This comment is the prime example of tell me you have medical privilege without telling me you have medical privilege. I'm just gonna be honest. You have privilege and it shows, and it's disgusting.
And that's where you get it wrong, kid. We don't want you to get diagnosed. We don't care if you have a label or identity with this or that disorder. We just all want you to stop saying you have a disorder, telling people what life is like living with your disorder, and spreading the wrong information when you don't even know if you have it in the first place. The diagnosis is just meant to clear up why you experience certain symptoms and to guide your treatment. It's not relevant to anyone but yourself, and no one cares if you're not on TikTok lying to other people and creating more stigma in the mental health community. The burden of proof is also not on everyone else. It's the last sentence that gets to me. Saying that someone having privilege is disgusting really irks me. How dare other people be fortunate enough to have medical access? These kids are so poor me, and only seek what they're lacking in comparison to others instead of seeing the immense amount of privilege they already have. This kid, for example, has glasses, so they can have the privilege of sight when a lot of people can't afford them or can't see at all. They have a pride flag, meaning they're at least partially out about their sexuality, which is very privileged when a lot of places consider it a crime punishable by death to simply exist as queer. They're recording a TikTok on a phone or iPad or some expensive electronic device, meaning they have the privilege of owning tech, having access to data or Wi-Fi, and live in a country with unrestricted access to social media. They have a bed, and they have the privilege of spreading fake info online because they have free speech. Seems like you're quite privileged yourself, kid. And guess what? That's okay. So stop acting like being privileged is not a good thing. Take every opportunity you have and stop focusing on what you don't have. And stop spreading misinformation. Please. Remember Fregley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid? This is him now. This is the neighborhood kid your parents always tried to make you play with because they were friends with their parents. If only they all saw what this kid recorded in their room for the internet to see in their spare time. Now, maybe I'm getting old, but back in my day, the weird kids acted like wolves or dragons at recess, and then left the fantasy land back in the playground when it was time to go back to the freezing cold portables to do timed multiplication quizzes and sing about Dr. and Mrs. Vandertramp verbs with grade 4 teacher Mr. McLean playing along a guitar. Maybe it's just because we didn't have access to TikTok to learn about how to turn your quirky interests into something to garner attention and fake internet points for, but I can't seem to remember one of these people ever claiming to be mentally ill. Sometimes you're just weird. Really weird. And that's okay. You don't need to justify being weird by hiding behind a fake identity. Just own it. Be the weird kid, and then maybe one day your love of being a dragon wolf furry will pay off and you can do some obscure OnlyFans cosplay for the fellow grown-up weirdos around you. Because TikTok follows and views themselves won't pay your bills, no matter how many fake alters make accounts.
Well, you see, we're a gang of ghosts, and we only have one body to inhabit, so we gotta share. Like, you can't see him? Arnie, over there? Do you wanna jump in? Look. This is ridiculous. You can have it back now. Yeah, you can see the other guy? That guy's a gorilla. We won't let him in, because he'll go run around and find some trees and shit. But this one over here, he's a young artist. His name's Panther. Do you wanna hop in? Hello. Bye-bye. There you go.
Cue the anime intro. The plot? Just a typical schoolboy walking to school when suddenly a demon soul wrongly accused of heinous crimes is seen running away from the undertakers of hell and crashes right into him. Appalled, the demon soul marvels at the fact that the boy's spirit can see him. Deviously, he makes an empty promise to the boy that if he saves him, he will be able to use his ghostly abilities, to which the boy agrees. After a tumultuous episode where the boy saves the demon, they become real friends who gather other innocent demon souls and they switch between inhabiting the boy's body in the blink of an eye. The story arc's peak is when one ghost doesn't let the others back in the body and the weird girl from the occult club has to exorcise them. Or something like that. I haven't done creative writing for a few months now. I'm sure that's what this person is aiming for in their weird main character syndrome fantasy where they can simply blink and become someone new. Now, truth be told, I have no idea if this guy thinks he has DID, but I can assure you that dissociation looks nothing like this, and that this is utter BS roleplay at its finest. The concept is inarguably cool, but please remember that dissociating and grounding after doing so takes time and leaves you disoriented, and most cases of DID have very limited communication between alters as their job is to hold different memories to keep the host safe from the lack of ability to cope with the trauma. But thanks for trying, Danny Phantom. At least this anime that I have rightfully titled Demon Takeover and the Invisible Friends, trademark, will be a huge hit on Netflix. And if you're lucky, maybe I'll credit your deluded TikToks as the genius source of my comedy. Maybe. Just when I thought the peak of fakers was over, we see a rise in those weird subliminals meant for the kids raised in healthy environments to become disadvantaged so the world pities them. Because who needs respect when you can have people feel sorry for you at a fraction of the effort? Look at this shit. Anemia, Tourette's, cardiac arrests, COVID. Bruh. It seems we found the reason that countries are still locked down with skyrocketing cases years later. They may manage to control the spread, but then Kai, aged 15, pronouns they, it, demisexual half-dragon, decided to upload a subliminal so that all of their TikTok followers can listen and become ill with the big C-19. Please report these channels so we can do our part and stop the pandemic. Nah, but seriously, look at this. Abusive parents have PTSD subliminals. The ignorance behind this content is insane to me. You can tell the people making these have no idea what suffering with these circumstances is like, and to want to give others the opportunity to also become this way shows some really weird ideation of being fucked up, which is really toxic. Kids need to be taught that they can be recognized for being kind and hardworking and good at science or art, and that being recognized solely for things out of your control that stem from tragic events is not empowering and fuels a narcissistic mindset that you can always get the attention on you when you need it if you act pitiful enough. This is where the attention-seeking stereotype is developed and makes people who try their hardest to fight their ailments and who genuinely want to be helped shut down and not speak up, and maybe they don't get the help that could save them because of it. And for those of you who try to tell me that these people who make these videos do it to punish themselves as a form of self-harm, I have some news for you, and you're not gonna like it. I saw this tweet that perfectly explains it, and it says the following. Hey mental health Twitter, I'm about to really piss you off. If you have a mental health episode, you still owe the people you exploded on an apology. You still did it. It's not their job to roll over and let you treat them however you want. Oh, and guess what else? People are allowed to be done with you whenever they want. They don't owe you endless patience while you refuse to find help and treatment for your mental health and make up excuses every step of the way. Thank you at Lutro Draws for hitting the nail on the head. If your actions hurt others, it is your responsibility. You making subliminals on YouTube for young kids to watch and become enamored by and delegitimizing mental illness doesn't suddenly become okay because you're mentally ill. Faking Tourette's and being upset when people call you out because it's obviously a cry for attention doesn't mean people have to be okay with that. Take responsibility for your actions and stop dragging other people down with you if you're not willing to at least try and get better or educate others in a way that brings light to the suffering that mental illness brings. Okay, I need to go and touch some grass on behalf of all these TikTokers, so let's end it here. Be sure to like today's video if you enjoyed, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more content. Follow me on my socials, especially Twitch. I've started streaming again, and I would love for you to join me for some casual chatting and gaming. Anyways, that's all from me. Hope you all have an amazing day, and I shall see you all in the next video. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Thanks for watching.